March 3, 2015. They say when you look back, you can see where everything went wrong. I don't know if that's true. Maybe things were broken from the start. Maybe I was born cracked, and everyone else just noticed it before I did. I live in a small town in Ohio. One of those places where every house looks the same and everyone knows each other's secrets, but no one ever talks about them. I rent a one-room apartment above a laundromat. The machines hum all night. It's the only sound that keeps me company now. I started writing this because the silence got too heavy. Words are supposed to make sense of things, right? But the more I write, the less I understand myself. March 5th. Sometimes I dream about school. Not the lessons, not the teachers, just the hallways. The smell of bleach and old gum. The laughter that always seemed to come from behind me. They called me Jack the Joke. I never got the joke. They'd knock my books out of my hands, trip me in the cafeteria, steal my lunch. One time, they locked me in the janitor's closet. I screamed until my throat tore. The janitor found me hours later, sitting in the dark, laughing. I think that was the first time I realized laughter can sound like crying. March 8th. My parents weren't much better. My father worked nights at the plant, came home smelling like oil and whiskey. He never said much, unless he was angry. My mother, she existed somewhere between silence and worry. Always tired, always apologizing for things that weren't her fault. When I told them about the kids at school, Dad said, "Hit back or shut up." I tried hitting back once. I ended up with a broken lip and a week's suspension. After that, I learned to shut up. March 10th. You can only be invisible for so long before you start to fade. I used to stare at myself in the mirror, wondering what they saw that made them hate me. Maybe it was my eyes, too pale, too empty. Maybe it was my voice, always trembling when I spoke. Or maybe I was just easy to hurt. There was one person who didn't treat me like a ghost. Her name was Emily Carter. She sat 2 rows in front of me in biology. She had this quiet smile, like she saw something the rest didn't. She lent me her notes once, said I looked tired. I told her I was fine, but I wasn't. I never was. She moved away before senior year. I think about her sometimes, the way you think about a dream that felt real until you woke up. March 14th. It's strange how time blurs. High school feels like yesterday, but it's been years. Everyone else moved on, college, jobs, families. I stayed here, in this decaying town, fixing vending machines and pretending I don't care. But I see them sometimes. The ones who used to laugh. They've aged, gotten softer, slower. They have kids now. I wonder if their children will grow up to be like them. I wonder if cruelty is inherited, passed down like a family heirloom. March 18th. The nights are the hardest. That's when the memories come back. The way they used to corner me. In the locker room, the whispers, the fists. I tell myself it's over, that they can't hurt me anymore. But it's not true. They live inside me. Every insult, every bruise, they built something in me. A structure made of fear and shame. Sometimes I feel it shifting, like it's alive. I've tried therapy. Twice. The first therapist fell asleep while I was talking. The second one said I needed to forgive and let go. Forgiveness feels like letting them win. March 22nd. I saw one of them today, Kyle Benson. He was one of the worst. Used to call me Freak Show. He didn't recognize me. I watched him from across the street, laughing with his son, holding a coffee. He looked happy. Peaceful. Something twisted inside me when I saw that. I'm not angry, not really. It's more like curiosity. How does someone like that get to be happy? How do they walk away clean while the rest of us drown in what they left behind? March 25th. The machines downstairs broke again. I spent most of the night fixing them. The hum is quieter now, but my head isn't. I keep thinking about that day in the closet. How dark it was. How small I felt. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if no one had found me. Maybe nothing. Maybe everything. March 28th. I found my old yearbook. Dusty, yellowed. Their faces staring up at me like ghosts frozen in time. Smiling. Laughing. Living. There's my picture too. Page 87, bottom corner. I looked terrified. Like I knew what was coming. March 30th. I think I'll start walking more. There's something calming about moving without purpose. The streets are empty at night, just how I like them. Sometimes I imagine I'm the last person alive. It's peaceful, in a strange way. March 31st. I had a dream last night. I was back in the hallway. The same laughter echoing behind me. Only this time, I didn't run. I turned around. When I woke up, my hands were shaking, but for the first time, I wasn't afraid. April 2nd, 2015. It's been raining for 3 days. The whole town smells like rust and wet earth. The laundromat downstairs flooded again. The owner screamed at me this morning because I didn't fix the dryers fast enough. I didn't even argue. What's the point? Sometimes I wonder if people realize how easily they hurt others. Probably not. They just say what they want and walk away, never thinking about the echo it leaves behind. I used to think I was stronger than that. Turns out, I'm just quieter. April 5th. I walked past the old high school today. They repainted it blue. It looks cleaner, newer, but I can still see the stains underneath, like memories bleeding through fresh paint. They put up a banner, "Go Eagles, Class of 2015. 10 years. It's been 10 years since I left those halls, but the ghosts never left me. A car honked as I crossed the street. I didn't move right away. I just stood there, staring at the building. Part of me wanted to go inside. Another part whispered, "You never really left." April 7th. I saw another one of them, Mark Ellis. He was sitting outside a cafe, wearing a suit, typing on a laptop. He looked successful. Confident. Like the world had never crushed him under its heel. I watched from across the street. He looked up once, and our eyes met. Nothing. Not a flicker of recognition. It's strange, isn't it? How people can break you and then forget you ever existed. April 10th. I've started talking to myself more lately. Not out loud, at least, not always. There's this voice that comes and goes. It doesn't sound like me. It asks questions I can't answer. Sometimes it laughs. Last night, it asked, "Do you remember the closet?" I said yes. It said, "Then why do you still act like you're in it?" I didn't sleep after that. April 13th. I went by the river after work. It's quiet there, behind the old steel bridge. I like to sit and watch the water move. It never stops. It never thinks. It just flows. I threw a pebble in, watched the ripples fade. If I disappeared tomorrow, I wonder how long it would take for the ripples I made to vanish too. Probably not long. April 15th. Something strange happened today. I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was an old photo, my class picture from senior year. Someone circled my face in red ink. No note. No explanation. Just the circle. I stared at it for a long time. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. April 16th. I don't know who sent it. Maybe a prank. Maybe someone from back then who remembers more than they should. Or maybe it's the universe's way of reminding me that the past doesn't die, it waits. I put the photo in my desk drawer. But sometimes I swear I can hear it, whispering when the room goes quiet. April 20th. Work's been slow. The machines keep breaking, but the owner says it's my fault. I think he just needs someone to blame. People always need someone to blame. I used to think I was cursed. Now I think I'm just convenient. April 23rd. The dreams are getting worse. I see faces I can't name, voices I can't place. I wake up drenched in sweat, sometimes standing at the window without remembering how I got there. Last night, I saw myself in the reflection, but it wasn't me. He was smiling. April 25th. I called my mother today. First time in months. She sounded tired. Said Dad's memory is getting worse. Alzheimer's, maybe. When I mentioned school, she went quiet. Then she said, "You need to let it go, Jack." She always says that. But how do you let go of something that still breathes inside you? April 27th. I went for a drive tonight. No destination, just the open road and the sound of the rain hitting the windshield. It felt like I was chasing something, or maybe running from it. The radio played an old song from the 90s, one I used to hear at school dances. Everyone else was laughing, moving together. I was in the corner, pretending to check my phone. I remember watching Emily that night. She was wearing a blue dress. She looked back once and smiled. Sometimes I wonder what she'd think of me now. April 30th. The voice is getting louder. It's not just in my head anymore, I hear it in the pipes, the hum of the machines, the flicker of the lights. It tells me things. Small things, quiet things. Tonight it said, they never paid for what they did. I told it to stop. It laughed. May 2nd. I saw Kyle again. The one with the son. They were at the grocery store, picking out cereal. He looked happy. So ordinary. He didn't see me. I watched them leave, and for a moment, I felt something I haven't felt in years, envy. Then it turned into something darker. The voice whispered, "You could take it all away." I walked out before it could finish. May 4th. I don't know what's happening to me. I'm tired all the time, but when I close my eyes, the past plays like a movie I can't turn off. Sometimes I see flashes of things that haven't happened yet, or maybe they have, and I just forgot. The photo on my desk feels heavier now. Like it's waiting. May 6th. The mirror cracked this morning. I don't remember hitting it, but there's a spider web of lines running through my reflection. When I look into it, my face splits apart, fragments of me staring back, each one with a different expression. One of them smiled. May 9th. I think about forgiveness sometimes. What it would feel like to forgive them. But every time I try, I see their faces, hear their laughter, and it fills my lungs like smoke. Forgiveness feels like drowning. May 12th. I've stopped leaving the apartment. The world outside feels too loud, too bright. The machines downstairs hum like a heartbeat. It's comforting. They never judge. They never remember. The voice says soon. I don't know what it means by that. But I think I'm starting to understand. May 14th, 2015. The machines stopped working again. I spent hours trying to fix them, but every time I thought I'd found the problem, another noise started somewhere else. It's like they're alive, like they're trying to tell me something I can't quite hear. The hum used to comfort me. Now it sounds like whispering. May 16th. The photo on my desk is different. At least, I think it is. The circle around my face, it's darker, thicker, almost like it's been traced over again and again. And now, there's a small red line drawn to another person in the picture, Mark Ellis. I don't remember doing that. But I must have. Who else would? May 18th. I barely sleep anymore. When I close my eyes, I see flashes, hallways, lockers, that stupid banner that said, "Go Eagles." And behind it all, I hear laughter. Always laughter. Sometimes I wake up standing by the window, staring at the street below. I can't remember how I got there. It's starting to scare me. May 20th. There's a sound in the walls. I can hear it at night, scratching, faint but constant. Like something trying to crawl out. I tore off a piece of wallpaper today. Nothing there. But I could have sworn I saw something move just behind the plaster. Maybe I'm losing it. Maybe I already have. May 22nd. I walked past the high school again. The gate was open, even though it's Saturday. I don't know why I went in, I just felt pulled. The halls smelled the same. That same chemical clean scent mixed with sweat and dust. My footsteps echoed louder than they should have. Every locker looked identical, but I found the one that used to be mine. I ran my hand over the metal. There were still scratches where someone carved, "Freak." I traced the letters with my finger until it started to hurt. May 23rd. I had another dream. This one was different. I was sitting in the old biology classroom. Emily was there, smiling at me. The sunlight came through the blinds, painting stripes across her face. She looked older, like she's supposed to now, but her eyes were the same. She said, "You don't have to be afraid anymore." When I reached for her hand, it turned to dust. I woke up crying. May 25th. The voice doesn't whisper anymore. It talks. It told me its name tonight. I don't want to write it. Writing it makes it real. May 27th. My reflection moves when I don't. It watches me, tilts its head a second after I do. Sometimes its mouth moves even when mine doesn't. I covered the mirror with a towel, but I can still feel its eyes on me through the fabric. I tried to throw it out, but when I looked again, it was back on the wall. May 28th. I found another letter in the mail. Same handwriting, same red ink. Inside was a single sentence. "You remember what they did, don't you?" No name. No address. Just that. The handwriting looked familiar. Like mine. May 29th. I called in sick today. I couldn't face anyone. The light hurts my eyes. Even the sound of the laundromat downstairs feels too loud. I've been sitting in the dark, just. See him. The voice says it's time. It says I can finally make it stop. I don't know if I should believe it. But I want the silence. More than anything, I want the silence. June 17th, 2015. The days don't feel like days anymore. Time has stopped meaning anything. The sun rises, but it feels wrong, like light painted over darkness that refuses to leave. I haven't gone to work in a week. The owner pounded on my door this morning, shouting, but I didn't answer. I just sat in the corner and watched the dust float in the air. It moved so slowly. Peacefully. If I could be dust, I think I would. June 18th. The voice is quiet now. It doesn't yell or whisper anymore, it just waits. Like it knows something I don't. I used to be afraid of silence. Now it feels like the only honest thing left. June 20th. I found the old box today, the one from high school. It was buried under a pile of junk in the closet. Inside were fragments of who I used to be, a science fair ribbon, a detention slip, a crumpled note that said, "You're weird, but I like that." I think that was from Emily. I held it for a long time. The paper was soft, almost falling apart. Like me. June 21st. There was a knock at the door tonight. When I opened it, no one was there. Just another letter on the floor. It said, "You can't hide from the past, but you can stop it from repeating." I don't know what that means. Maybe it means there's still a way out. June 22nd. I went for a drive again. Out past the river, through the empty roads that twist through the hills. The town looked smaller from up there, like a snow globe that someone forgot to shake. I stopped by the bridge and watched the water for hours. It moved like it always does. Calm, endless, uncaring. For a moment, I thought I could see my reflection in it, not my face, but the boy I used to be. He looked scared. I wanted to tell him it would be okay, but I couldn't lie anymore. June 24th. The police came today. They said someone had reported strange noises from my apartment, the neighbors, probably. I told them everything was fine. They looked around, saw the covered mirrors, the papers on the walls, and exchanged that look people give when they've already decided what you are. They didn't stay long. But after they left, I saw something in their eyes. Pity. June 25th. I dreamed of the school again. This time, the hallways were empty. No laughter, no voices, just silence. I walked until I reached the closet door. It was open. Inside, there was a chair. And on the chair, the yearbook. When I opened it, every face was blank. Every name, erased. Only one remained. Mine. June 27th. I think I understand now. All these letters, the whispers, the voice, maybe they were never someone else. Maybe it was me all along. Maybe this was my way of remembering what I tried so hard to forget. The photo on my desk doesn't scare me anymore. It's just paper. Faded ink. Ghosts of people who stopped existing a long time ago. Maybe that includes me. June 28th. I heard from my mother again. She said Dad doesn't remember my name anymore. She cried on the phone, but her voice sounded far away, like she was already fading too. She asked if I was okay. I said yes. I think that's the first lie I ever told her. June 29th. The voice came back last night, softer than before. It said, "You can rest now." I asked it what that meant. It didn't answer. But I think I know. June 30th. They came again, the police. This time, they didn't knock. They came in. They asked questions I barely heard. Something about disturbing messages, letters, old classmates. I didn't argue. I didn't resist. I just let them take me. The machines downstairs were still humming as they led me out. That sound followed me all the way to the car. July 1st. The cell is small, cold, and clean. No mirrors, no letters, no photographs. Just walls, silent and heavy. Sometimes, at night, I can hear the guards talking down the hall. They sound so far away. One of them said I looked peaceful. Peaceful. Maybe that's not the right word. Maybe I'm just empty. July 3rd. They gave me a notebook. Said writing helps. So here I am again, writing like it will make sense of everything. It's strange, now that the noise is gone, I don't feel angry anymore. Just tired. Like I've been carrying something for so long that I forgot how to put it down. July 5th. Sometimes I think about what would have happened if things were different. If someone had noticed. If someone had said something real. If I'd learned how to forgive before everything fell apart. But life doesn't work like that. It just keeps moving forward, even when you're stuck in the past. July 6th. They asked me if I feel regret. I said yes. Not for what they think I did, but for what I became trying to survive. That's the thing no one tells you, the past doesn't kill you, it changes you. Bit by bit, until one day you look in the mirror and don't know who's staring back. July 7th. I had another dream. I was standing by the river again, only this time it was calm. Emily was there. She smiled, like before. She said, "You can go now." And when I looked down, the water was still. For the first time, I saw my reflection clearly. I didn't look scared anymore. July 8th. They say they'll move me soon, to a quieter place, somewhere, for treatment. I don't care where they take me. I just hope it's quiet. Before they do, I want to write this down. I'm not the monster they think I am. I was just a boy who got lost in the noise. If anyone ever finds these pages, I hope they understand, it wasn't about revenge. It was about silence. It was about wanting the world to stop hurting, even for a moment. July 9th. The light through the bars is softer in the morning. It feels warm on my face. I think that's enough for now. Maybe tomorrow, I'll write again. Maybe I won't. Either way, I'm finally not afraid. Jack.